The supposed victory is when the hero thinks the story is over, and they believe they have finally accomplished the goal and their journey has come to an end. Little do they know the enemy lurks around the corner and the story is far from over. How do you write this fake moment? And how do you make it pay off for your characters when everything goes astray? Welcome to Writing Quest. Hello and welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brennan Pugh, and today we're talking about the supposed victory part of the story in the third act, what it is and how to write it. If you are new to the channel, we are writing an epic tale and we are documenting the whole process. So check out some of our earlier videos if you want to catch up. But for now, here we go. Stick around to the end of the video and we will talk about the progress on the book, where we are with writing and outlining and all that good fun stuff. What is the supposed victory? The supposed victory is basically the part of the story where the hero thinks the story is over. It's where they think they've won. They think that they accomplished the goal and it's all going to be over and they're safe. And it's right before you get to the disaster, before you get to the climactic battle and all that kind of stuff. It's really basically it's just where they think it's over. They've won. They found the thing. They defeated this. They thought it was over and they're going to survive and it's all going to be great. And so that's really as simple as it is. It's kind of right after that second pinch point. So that second pinch point kind of acts as like the fake disaster, kind of acts as like they think that's the worst part of the story that's going to happen. And then they kind of get through that moment. They go and then they finally accomplish something that they think is the end goal. And so they just assume that's the end of the story. That's what they think is their victory and the conclusion of the story. Little do they know that the battle is far from over and the disaster happens, and that's what leads us into the darkest moment and all the revelation stuff of, where the character learns and changes and grows. And so as far as our story of Wolves and Wizards, we are basically, for us, this moment is a culmination for all three of our characters, Ro, Guyan, and Artemis. For Ro, it's going to be kind of I led my people to the right. It's basically going to be the same thing for all three of them. It'll be a little different for Artemis, but for Ro and for Guyan, it's going to be kind of we finally led our people through. We got them to where they need to be safely. And for Artemis, it's kind of I didn't think I could do it, but hey, look, we made it. And so here we are. And so the event that happens is that they're going to finally reach the Evertree, or they're going to mostly reach the Evertree. They're going to finally come to where it is and they can see it in the distance. The wolves are with them. The elves are with them. Their people are with them. It's kind of like the moment in the Two Towers in Lord of the Rings, where they see Helm's Deep and they're so thrilled they're finally here. They finally made it, only to be, eventually attacked and have the whole castle completely destroyed. It's basically that moment where they see the success. They found the Evertree. They found what they were looking for. And for Guyan and Artemis especially, that's going to be a really big moment, because that was the charge that they were given by their father, to flee the darkness, to find the Evertree, because the Evertree is what was going to save their people. So for Ro, it's a little different because she didn't grow up in the land of the high people. She didn't know before. So she knew that this was the mission. But so for her, it's mostly just seeing a place of safety, like, okay, we finally accomplished the goal. For Artemis and for Guyan, Artemis, I think, more than Guyan, but it's going to be a very emotional moment. I think for Guyan, it'll be like a surprisingly emotional for him, whereas Artemis is just going to be emotional. But for Guyan, it'll be kind of, he won't realize how emotional it is for him. So for them, it's like, this is a years and decades long thing that they've been trying to do, and they finally did it. And for Artemis, it's going to be kind of like, he thought that he failed with losing the staff. He thought that he failed and he thought that he failed. And now finally, hey, maybe I didn't fail and I actually achieved what my father wanted me to achieve. It's just going to be a big moment. I think it's going to be fun to write. I think it's going to be fun to kind of fake people out for thinking, and it's also going to be a fun way to, our characters and the wolves and the elves. And it's basically this, like, they're going to, all the strife that they've had and figuring each other out and figuring out who we are and how we relate and the different, cultures and how that all clashes. This is going to be the unifying moment of like, hey, we found it. Now for the wolves, the wolves are already here. So there's wolves with them, but there's already wolves at the Evertree because they're the guardians of the Evertree. And so for them, it's going to be less of a thing, but it's going to be the whole group kind of, for the elves have always just assumed it's some myth or legend. It's not a real thing. And so it's just this big unifying experience that brings all of the characters together. It's emotional for some, it's less emotional for others, but it's a big moment before it all just comes crashing down and is completely destroyed. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited for writing it. I think it's going to be really fun. So it's only a couple of chapters, so it's not going to be a huge long moment of the book, but it is going to be a really fun part to write. It's going to be kind of a tension relieving moment. So as far as the book goes, we are still writing along. You can check it out on Wattpad, and you can follow along with us there. I hope that you are learning something from these videos that we're producing, and I hope that you have enjoyed them. I've enjoyed making them. I hope you enjoy them. And so we're just going to keep trucking along. We're hoping to have this thing written in the next few months, and so you can just keep reading it along and following along. I think I'm going to post the outline as I have it done. I'm going to actually make that available and post it so you can kind of see what the outline looks like from my perspective and what I've worked on as far as all that. I've actually made it in Notion is what I use for everything, and I actually have a simple book outliner which is available on Gumroad. You can check that out, or I'm currently working on the big one, the big outliner, which is what I've used for this, basically just tweaking it a little bit, and I'll have that available soon. But so anyways, that's it for this episode of Writing Quest. I hope you learned something. Like, comment, share, and as always, subscribe if you have not. It really helps us out. We will see you next time on Writing Quest. Huzzah!